It's Monday morning and it's really cold out there. So, what I'm talking about today is alright, so the things from my yard. I'm not actually talking about these things today. I'm just going over saying, I spent like every day finding, just living on top of these very interesting things. So see the mammoth, like it's a lot for your brain to comprehend when it just like your artifacts are just like talking to you. Your land is like, it has like all these memories on it and you're picking up on it. So I'm going to make a point. So it's kind of nice, you go to the beach, and then I go to the beach and then I see more artifacts, more things talking to me. This is a child's moccasin, so there's your proof that leather petrifies. And these are the teeth, some teeth. This is a whale tooth. And okay, so I learned that even though I have people going, that's a rock. Okay, you can see there's two layers here, the cementum and the dentum, and then it has like the lines going that are vertical, and then it has this nice shape, that little, okay, but pretty cool. And also, sperm whale is actually the Connecticut state animal, believe it or not. Not like I've seen one like roaming around anywhere near. Okay, so my husband was taking the kids to the old iron foundry, and I was fascinated with the glass slag. I'm like, that's so pretty. It's like, it would be shapeless. It would be a kind of, well, man-made rock that would just be random. So go up, I guess, to the north, where there is this supposed shapeless slag glass. And wouldn't you know it, this state is steeped in very deep history, and you can just feel the trauma on the land. I mean, fortunately, it's not as bad as some parts. Like, if you go to Gettysburg, you just know what's happened there. If you've been to the South, where, the antebellum South, where I don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. I don't think I can go there because it would just be too traumatic for me. Yeah, I just wish people would just not be so cruel to each other, because it leaves a mark on the land. The earth doesn't forget. Anyway, so I went there and I was shown a lot of things. I started picking up these pieces of slag glass, and I thought, well, these are random. At first I thought it was pareidolia, and I started seeing things like, okay, so and this is even actually like smoothed down on the edges. now, there is a mountain of slag glass at this place, and they probably don't want me taking it, but so much of it, it's in the water. It's there's just a mountain of slag glass. So it was kind of fun to bring the kids there. They feel like they're picking something up. They feel like they're treasure hunting. So, but I was proving to myself something. I wanted to have some of this pretty slag glass, and I see a wolf looking to the left right now, and how about to the right? It's kind of smiling, isn't it? Now we see a human face looking to the right. Do you think this is pareidolia? I don't know. It just seems like somebody purposely smoothed those edges off. Like, this is glass. It should be cutting me up. And just to make sure, like, I figured it's, yeah, here's the turkey. Those are man-made cut lines in there. That's a turkey. And I noticed, like, okay, if I turn it this way, I'm finding, like, yeah, I've got, like, things going on this side. Like, there's something going on over here too. Like, it looks like there's like a kind of animal, like a badger or a skunk standing up, and there's this angry, pissed turkey over here in a fight with it. So you see it, the animal with its tail. I was able to see a couple other things on it, but there's a human face on this. So I was expecting to see something that was random, something that had no shape, and I go there, and because this is like walking into a room where everybody's talking, and you just want to get away from that room and go to someplace quiet, and I go someplace else. I walk into a quiet room, and then it's like it's loud again. But it's a different time period. Do you get what I'm saying? This looks random. It's like a bison or a cow. I'll say a bison because of that ridge on that back. It's lying down. So I took this, and like when I first brought it in, I thought, oh, I'd wash it a little bit. This answered a question for me, because I was thinking, okay, I'm finding shapes. Maybe these natives that lived on this foundry area, maybe they were using the glass to make arrowheads and stuff. This is a dumb question. So I put this under lukewarm water, and it shattered right across the middle. So there was an air bubble, and that slight temperature change cracked it. Tells me it's too brittle to be made into tools. It's just for art. And plus, apparently these natives that were hired to work on the foundry, if that's exactly who did that, because I guess you'd probably have a mix of probably the colonists and Native Americans, which would probably be Mohawk from that region. They would I lost my train of thought. Okay. All right, so they would probably be no older than 300 years. Okay, here's the thing. I'm finding this, okay, like I say, turkey flip stone where you see something on the other side, the same as something that is 12,000 years old, roughly 12,000 plus. This culture is that old. Okay, this might look random, but think of my thumb on this guy's chin, and he's looking up, and his mouth is open. And this would be his neck down here. That's pretty cool. Is not convinced. Now it's a bear. Like little bear with a big head. His ears right there. I think I was able to find something else with this one. Oh, that looks like something, like canine. I think I saw another, like old man or something. That looks like a weird looking creature. Like a troll. Okay, well, if I see it, I mean, that's pretty cool. How about that? I don't know, someone must have been having fun with these. I think this is like the same. This one, I mean, I can see it's polished down. I think it's like similar to my bison there. I think it's another, like this is the head right there. I think it's another bison. There's its back. So, okay, so they're both sitting together going moo. Some of these, I mean, I like just seeing the colors that show up in some of these. Maybe just kind of use like a little pareidolia and I just assume you see something. That's weird, but it's also, while I was there, I found there were some kind of like Paleolithic artifacts. This is like a tooth, and there's signs of it being carved into what? I don't know. Maybe it was like an effigy, but you see like the scratch lines going on it. So that's something I have. There's a few things I have, but another piece of, I see like a cat head, short, like kind of mouth open. Don't know if there's anything else, but it seems to be polished. Maybe it doubles up as a few other things. This stuff is quite pretty. I have a few pieces sitting outside. I mean, I had to just, oh, yeah, okay. Like if you hold it this way, it's like kind of another cat head. Why were they doing this? I mean, so I'm assuming that these people were employed by the foundry. Okay, that could just be a simple like fox head. I mean, maybe not. Maybe I'm just seeing it, but it's nice. Okay. So get a load of this. See, here's me. I don't like to take the big things. When you take little kids with you, like my grandson or they like to grab the big things. And so I see them bring this. And I ended up with it because I can see what it is. So, head, eye, nose, beard, folds of fabric, a bust of Jesus. Wow. So that could be like 300 years old. You know, we have people who are like seeing like effigies of Jesus in their toast in the morning or whatever. Here's one that could be made by Native Americans or, you know, early colonists, or could be around 300 years old, or, you know, not quite that old, but we'll say over 100 years old. You know, I'm out of a job right now. Anyone want to hit me up? No, seriously. Let's see the other side. This is, they poured it onto like the raw dirt from the foundry, or like around the foundry. I've always kind of wanted to mount that because that's really kind of nice. Okay, so other things. But the land did want to like tell me things. Oh, and let's see if I can find the other thing. There, and there was something over here I wanted to show, and I can't find it now. So here's my big pile of rocks. You know what? I can't find it. Well, that's where I found that snake. Oh, there it is. There's my instruments. There's my witch's broom because I'm a dancing witch. Do you see that? There's a hat I just made. I haven't even told you guys about that yet. Okay. So that's where I found this guy. Oh, come on, where is it? That's where I found this guy. So I found that there. I also found this piece here. I actually put paint on it. I brought it home. I mean, I found this under a tree. I feel like they were telling me something. So what I saw was this white guy here in period clothes frisking this Native American, a native guy. Like, at first I was like, oh, you know, it's a profile of a white guy. So you'd think this thing is like quartz. It should be older than what it appears. But this guy is wearing attire that is dated like within the last few hundred years. And so this, I couldn't tell if this was, I mean, at first I thought this was another person over here, like they're people looking. So then there's a arm coming down alongside with little dimpled hands. And when I turned it this way, there's this big, ugly colonist guy with a coat with tails and kind of weird looking like breeches on weird looking shoes. And he's got a big hand, and he's got his hand around a child's throat, and little dimpled hands. And I felt like these other symbols over here that I didn't circle, I couldn't really see very well. I could kind of see, I kind of have to scry into it, but it's like there's people like watching. I was like, who founded this area? And I went and I looked it up. There was a guy that looked a lot like this. I'm not saying it's him, but it looked a lot like him. Like late 1700. His name was Squire Samuel Forbes. I guess he was the one who was in charge of this foundry. Well, when you go there, you see that they had to dam up the river to do what they were doing. So I could imagine maybe they went in there, made a treaty with the natives. The natives didn't understand what treaties were. It's like, here, let's share this land. Okay, and then they put a dam on their land. Their dam in their river. What does that do to their land? What does that do? And their land is sacred. Their loved ones are buried around there, or it throws off the water table to do that. And it's a big shock to have your land that you've had for thousands of years screwed with. And so they're probably like, okay, basically it's like your land and you've offered to share it, but then they're building some monstrosity thing on their land. It's like, would somebody go into your house and or your property and build some shit on it, and maybe he's like just frisking him, maybe he, whatever he did to them was offensive to the natives, but I think within time they learned to live together. Maybe there was employment. So I did actually go to the Institute of the American Indian out there, and they did say that a lot of the natives were hired to do kind of like the dirty work. So you've got a lot of, maybe they liked what came out of it. I mean, because we do know that the English colonists and the Mohawks, I guess that would be English, wouldn't it? I'd have to look at the time, because I'd have to look at the time period, because 1700s, because it's like you've got like the foundry. Did the foundry serve the colonists or the English? So it was might have started out as English and then went towards the colonists. That's a question. I mean, I should have my history book, but at least I remember the guy's name, the Squire Samuel Forbes. And I can't really say if the guy was really, was dastardly, but I'm sure to the natives he looked they looked like monsters, and I really got that sense that this little piece here tells a story. Now, what is it? The, this particular rock, I don't feel like it was always a rock. I kind of feel like it was something like this, because this, I believe, was an effigy ornament at one time. Okay, this has been long enough. I just poured my heart out about something, and I hope you learned something. Everyone, have a great day, and bye.